Hello, ladies and gentlemen. This is amazing because this is Wintersun podcast number 20, and I'm your host, me, Yari Mamba. I mean, he's there somewhere.
Hello, everyone.
And
This is
I
Asim
hope,
Zera.
Oh my!
can the rest of
Not
you
not
please introduce
not
yourself
not
as
this
well?
again.
This guy right here is Jukka.
Oh,
This is Teemu.
I have a bit of different perspectives. But,
Oh, wow.
But these are probably gonna change.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Today
They
is
keep
the
on changing.
20th anniversary podcast.
20th anniversary podcast, indeed. Absolutely.
Oh yeah, holy shit. It's 20th.
Exactly. Holy shit, indeed. It's
Oh
quite
my.
interesting that it's been, now it's the 20th podcast. Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
And I'm your host. I hope you guys are doing fantastic. As you see, lovely Yari and Teemu are enjoying their sun. And Yuka as well. Yes, absolutely. But at least
Yeah.
we are in the winter time here. So, we have a little bit of snow. Yari is enjoying his lovely summery feel. It's amazing.
Lonely Pine.
On the uphill of mighty mountain of Vuosaari.
Yes, absolutely. Very important. Very important. Teemu is enjoying the lovely stream of river over there. Yes, and Yuka is
Levitating
enjoying...
over the river.
Yes,
Jukka, are you in
levitating.
Finland?
Of course, as you can see.
Yes. He's enjoying the swamp.
Yeah.
And I'm getting buried under the snow. It's amazing. Yari, are you in Finland?
It's secret information.
All right. Well, cool.
You're in the need to know basis, and you don't need to know.
Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, we have amazing questions today in the podcast. Thank you for the patrons who have been supporting us throughout the years. I mean, throughout the more than a year. Yes, indeed.
20th anniversary. So
20th anniversary.
It's been a while.
I guess to be exact, a year and 9 months.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. It's been fantastic. Thank you very many. And they have put some lovely, lovely questions for us here. Yeah, very nice. I like it. And we will start with Quaffer. He has asked us the first question. And he says, apologies, he or she. I'm sorry for that, not knowing who it would be. Apologies if this has been asked before. My question is, are there any plans to write out tabs or make more lessons, perhaps even as an additional incentive for the next crowdfunding? I'm currently struggling to learn the Battle Against Time solo by ear because none of the tabs I found online seem accurate. Aha. Who would like to start for that?
Sure, maybe we can.
Yeah, absolutely. This question is for me, especially regarding the solo, right?
Please, Jukka, yes. Please answer. Please.
Jukka, are you gonna do any bass tabs?
Oh.
That's a no.
Yet to be decided.
AKA no.
No. Never say no.
Yeah. Never say never.
I never as well.
Yeah. For me, I haven't ever used those tab making apps. Mm-hmm. What are you using, Asim? So you have made few tabs for
Guitar
those.
Pro.
Okay, yeah.
That's what Teemu uses as well.
Yeah, Teemu might have done a few.
Yeah.
So,
just
might.
A few.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Might.
Yeah.
For me, it would be easier to just make a video to show the solo slowly.
Mm-hmm. Like Malmsteen.
I never seen, but he probably only shows them fast as possible, and that's it.
Let me show it slow.
Yeah, faster than the actual tempos. There you go.
Figure it out. So, then, yes, please.
Yeah, this is something we've been mindstorming about like for a long time, how we should do the tabs, like an official tab book or something, or more like instructional videos with the tabs or something. Well, now we've been doing a little bit of that with some of the Patreon content here, with like single videos and riffs where there's tabs included as well. But full songs, not yet. But yeah, maybe this is coming at some point. It's a lot of work to do like a full on transcription of like all the guitar parts, because there's several layers. So you also have to think like, okay, how do you write this when there's like 4 guitars playing at the same time, or sometimes 8 different guitar lines playing at the same time.
There are ever 8 guitars on the first album?
No, not on the first album, but let's say Sons of Winter and Stars intro.
Right. I think it's 6 guitars on that.
Okay.
Versus 1 bass. What a battle.
What a battle against time.
Yeah. So yeah, maybe we make this happen at some point, but have to think like how to do it, and shall we do a physical product as well, and yeah, who's gonna do it, and all that stuff.
Indeed.
Yeah, it's also question of time management, because we have so much other jobs, to do. So how important is that?
Yeah.
But hopefully, because it takes a lot of time and work, then we cannot do our other jobs, for me making the music. No.
Well, could be thought of or given to someone else to do it.
That's a possibility, but then if you want to make it like 100% correct, which I think would be nice, and that's kind of cool that it's getting more standard nowadays, that the bands like double check the official tabs themselves. But then that means of course that you have to happen, you have to also check every note to proofread it.
For me, I would love a tab book of the first album, maybe all the albums, but it would be maybe better idea for hire someone to do it, and I can
and
focus.
then double check it.
Yeah, exactly. But of course, it's just who's willing to do it and for what kind of price.
Yeah.
So we'll have to see.
I mean, there are quite many of our own parts that I'm pretty sure that Teemu and we already have from many different parts and so on. But yet again, those are some of the parts are live, some of the parts are from the album, some of the parts are like this and that. But something has not been concretely put in one place that, okay, this is the official one that we would like to release sometime. But we have bits and pieces here and there for our own use. So not to forget, like some of them which I have not written, I have definitely forgotten.
Yeah, maybe there's also when we play live, some parts may not be like exactly how they went on the album.
Correct.
I mean, even when I played the Winter Madness solo live, there's few parts that I didn't play exactly like on the album. Well, I made it.
That's so wrong. That is not just bad, but it's wrong. It's so wrong.
Hey, it's my song. I'll do whatever.
Oh, fucking hell! I forgot that. Yeah, sorry.
I made it better.
Yeah.
Well, I play like 95%, like on the album, but there's a few things that I changed, like afterwards.
All right. But yes, eventually, I mean, the thing is that it is being considered, and there is always a possibility. But thank you for asking. And
I think the time for that could be like around the next crowdfunding. Think about all the bonus content. So we'll see.
Definitely. All right. The next question is by Edish100. Thank you very much for asking the question, first of all, Quaffer. Secondly, Edish, thank you for asking as well. He asked a simple yet torturous question to everyone. What are your most favorite sweets? The other way to ask this would be, what is your most soft spot? Chocolate, ice cream, cookies, waffle with maple syrup, Man, you're telling everything that you like. Okay, pancakes with whipped cream and berry on top. Maybe something Finnish that we do not know of. I hope it will be fun to discuss.
Finnish, mammi. It's black.
No.
Mammi is nice, yeah.
No.
Yeah.
You guys know mammi?
Yes, mammi. Mammi is the thing. Especially
is
with
that
tons
makes
of thick cream over it. It's like a mammi soup.
I hadn't
People,
actually
people eat and enjoy.
That
I hadn't
definitely
actually
makes
eaten
you
it like in 30 years, but like
It's
last
still
year or
good,
the
right?
year before I tried it. It was okay.
I mean, memmy is something that makes you want to scream mommy afterwards. I mean, just to give you guys a hint, just go see Gordon Ramsay eating memmy, and then you'll understand everything.
Yeah, but
You can find it on YouTube.
hey, but I think there are opinions, and then there are Gordon's opinions. So.
No, there are opinions, and then there's Gordon Ramsay.
Yeah.
Right. But yes, please. What
Yeah,
are
but-
your soft spots?
But what is it? It's like some rye.
It's
Rye bread.
rye.
Some.
Yeah.
I don't know
Rye
how.
and
Rye malt.
syrup, I think.
Yeah.
But you definitely have to put some milk or something.
Cream,
Definitely makes you want to
Yeah.
cry.
cream, and a little bit of sugar.
Cry in the
really
shower.
Good.
Aye. That's.
What the hell?
Aye.
You take memmy to the shower, and then you cry. What?
Oh,
Oh, that's next level.
yeah.
My
So what
favorite
about-
sweets. For me,
Yes.
definitely chocolate, chips, and popcorn. Popcorn is my
Chips are not sweets,
weakest
man.
point.
But that's a
Wait, what?
soft spot. But that's
Oh.
your soft spot then. Chips.
Yeah, but usually I eat like popcorn. I make it myself.
Mhm.
You know, maybe once a month, watch a movie or something. It's been like
So-
from childhood. I
or-
make popcorn.
Or take them to the shower.
I love eating popcorn and watching movies.
All right. Or maybe take them to the shower.
Yeah, and cry.
Jari, do you use salt in the popcorn, or do you
Of
use
course.
these? There are these some spicings I've seen.
No, I never
some-
use spices. Never. Only salt.
Oh.
Because wasn't it in Helsinki back in the days? I haven't been in those movie theaters in decades, probably, or
Mhm.
something, or a decade. That
Yeah, there's some
they
spice,
used
but
to
I
be
don't like them.
these cheesy and different spicy
Mhm.
things.
Yeah, I don't like
spicy
them.
things. Okay. Yeah.
But yeah, these days I haven't been eating any sweets like now for almost 2 years. I only eat here and there some like 85 or 70% chocolates
Okay.
and the popcorn.
Nice. What about them?
And also like mint chocolate and licorice chocolate is my favorite.
Licorice. Okay.
Yeah.
You mean salmiakki or lakritz, that licorice that is like the salty one, or not the so salty?
Well, there's this fun one Finnish brand. It's like licorice, not salmiakki.
Then it's probably, I don't know. There are so many
Yeah.
brands. So many brands in Finland. Yeah.
Yes. Finland is
Okay.
definitely the top country out there when it comes to licorice and that stuff. Like they
Yeah.
have done everything with licorice. Everything.
Yeah, it's a little bit salty tasting too.
Yeah, good for you, Asiman. Or actually, I don't know. Do you like that stuff or not?
I've tried. I mean, I definitely.
Okay, you
do
don't.
like.
Teemu.
Yeah.
I'm not. No.
Next.
I hate how addicting that stuff is. I
Yeah,
always
me
try to stay
too.
away, but sometimes like it's fucking Saturday. I wanna be relaxed and watch a movie and eat some popcorn.
Well, I notice a phenomenon in Finland. There's like sometimes like to eat a few, but you can only buy the good ones in a big bag.
Mhm.
So
Yeah,
there's
mixed. Yeah, yeah.
there's an issue that you need to buy that big bag.
Yeah.
So maybe you should then, I don't know, take the few, retape it again and resell the bag, that you don't need the whole bag right away.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
what I mean.
Mm-hmm. 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 Fun
But,
fact: Finland is the country that consumes most of the candy as well, or produces most of the candy. One of them are fun facts.
Oh,
Really?
really, I haven't heard that. I thought that producing
Or has the
candy
most
might
candy
be,
stores. Not sure.
Okay, because I think Sweden or Denmark might be something where many candy things actually originate to Finland,
Okay.
at least. But maybe it's nowadays.
Yeah, but I've noticed like sugar is totally poison for me. It's probably for everyone, but I really like 2 years ago I started getting like crazy leg cramps when I was eating, sweets.
Right.
Leg cramps.
Or anything with sugar.
Okay.
Well, apparently
when I quit sugar, like everything gone and like been really healthy.
Yeah. I notice a bit of that phenomenon as well, maybe because I'm a few years behind someone else. Is that it hits the head quite roughly.
But you're catching up.
I'm catching, yeah, definitely. I'm catching. I'm probably past you. Yeah, but it hits the head like that. The sugar really curves really high. That getting weird symptoms nowadays.
Yeah.
Of eating even a small amounts. Yeah.
Jeez.
But of course, they are amazing things. Amazing things, the sweet things. But
we still haven't gotten to the guy who is the most candy consumer in the whole group here. So would you like to please shed a little bit of light of your sweet spot?
Jeez.
I don't know if I'm the most
no,
candy consumer.
Hell yeah.
Really?
Always
maybe he's doing that, but amount wise he might not be. But
yes, it is. I remember the few times, or not the few times, every time we have gone to the dinner together, them was always like, karkki. No. Okay.
But isn't there more
I can raise
are you eating that chocolate? No, not really. Okay.
Yeah, but isn't there more like ice cream freak?
Yeah,
ice cream as well.
I usually eat everything that is available and then more. But yeah, I love ice cream. I love salmiak. It's salty licorice. Here in like Central Europe, you're really missing the Finnish selection of candies, which is really great, and ice cream as well. Like that's like aisle after aisle of different flavors and different brands. It's really great selection in Finland.
It is, but then again, it's very like luring every time you go to the store that there's so much to choose that it's kind of in Central Europe. It's kind of better to be that there is not that much selection, that you stay away from that stuff.
Yeah, that's true. I have to say I do miss the salty licorice every once in a while. We have it here in like a few rare shops. There's like a Finnish shop here in Zurich that sells like imported Finnish stuff. But yeah, I think last time I had a piece of salty licorice was like a couple of weeks ago, and then before that like half a year ago or something. So, and any other.
Are you checking this from your almanac or what?
Yeah, I have it all down. Excel file. How many pieces?
Calculating the odds on the win.
Yeah. But I don't really like many of the candies here. There's not really that good selection, and like Switzerland is all about chocolate, which I'm not a huge fan of. I mean, I don't mind a few pieces of chocolate here and there, but I'm not like I don't have cravings for chocolate or anything. Ice cream I really like enjoy eating every once in a while, but yeah, it's kind of it's periodic in a way. Like in the summer, I usually eat one ice cream a day. That's normal, but
it's like fucking coffee, man. Like
yeah. Then again, I don't drink coffee. I don't drink beer, so it's finding the balance.
Oh, that makes sense. Yeah. Hey, whatever rocks your boat, they say. Right. Exactly. Well, thank you very much for answering, because I'm not a sweet guy at all. I do enjoy sweets from here and there from time to time. Big fan of Toblerone, Bounty,
and some Coke. Coca-Cola, man.
Oh, okay. What kind of candy is he talking? Okay. Yeah. Right. No, not a Coca-Cola fan either. Yeah, bad. It's been a long time I've consumed Coca-Cola as well. So
Especially in a plastic bottle, it tastes horrible. Gotta get it in small glass
glass
bottle.
bottle. That's
Extra cold.
Mhm. That's the one.
Then it's good.
That's
Definitely.
true. That's true.
Definitely. And
So-
then I like the Lind chocolate a lot. That is definitely awesome. That is really, really good.
I really don't. In the end, I prefer the.
Oh, we
when
have a
it comes
critic.
to big, yes. Well, somebody has to be, right? I like more the Fatser
Yeah.
Finnish chocolate style. Lind is good, but it's kind of intensely sweet.
For the Germans who are
But
hearing
maybe-
this podcast,
yes.
let us let you know that Fatser is the Finnish way of saying Faser. So
Yeah.
not that Fatser, which is in German, so never mind.
Fatser.
Oh yeah, true. That thing, yeah.
I was talking like first time when I went from Finland to Germany, and I was telling people like, yeah, was it like the Fatser is very good company. Excuse me, like, okay,
Yeah.
but carry on, please.
What was I saying? Yeah, but opinions. But they're definitely my soft spot is my butt probably, and then. Oh, how does this go?
Fair enough. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, my
Your-
soft
your
spot
cheese
is
spot.
definitely
Yeah, cheese spot. Come on, man.
my soft spot would definitely be salt and vinegar chips. Like, yeah, I can't stop. Once it's like the bag is open, that's it. That means it's gone.
I like chips also, but it's kind of like there's a huge difference if you find good quality stuff, like really good made, and not just some potato slices swimming in oil or kind of like oil flavor. The salt and vinegar good ones are really, really good.
Yeah. Some of the products are just like you can just take a bottle of oil and any kind of a chips, put that and like start drinking that. Like, what the hell?
One thing, I'm sorry that I interrupted you. Continue your
No,
list.
that was my point. Please.
Okay. But one thing I have to say that maybe I was thinking something Finnish is that what I really like is letut ja lakkahillu.
Yeah.
There's Finnish pancakes and cloudberry jam with whipped cream, or if you want to go vegan, with coconut cream, which is really good actually as well. So cloudberry jam is really nice, and cloudberry marmalades are really, really.
I never liked cloudberry.
Yeah.
Tastes weird.
Okay, but
maybe I need to try it again because it's been a long time since I tried it.
You definitely need to. It is a very unique taste, though. Kind of like how can you describe cloudberry? Like dark honey kind of bit.
Yeah, but letut and strawberry jam and.
That is, yeah.
Cloudberry keeps on turning.
What is kermavaahto?
Whipped cream.
Whipped cream, yeah.
Whipped cream, yeah. That's like a traditional Finnish
And what
thing,
is
right?
letut in English?
Pancakes.
But
I can
there's
vouch for
different
that,
types
though.
of pancakes.
There are different types, but what we're talking, I was talking, and probably Jari as well, we all, that they're very, really, really thin. Fried in a pan, really, really thin, not the thick
And you
ones.
can make the small ones as well.
And well, the tiny size doesn't matter, but as long as it's thin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know what you mean.
Yeah.
The delish.
Delish. Yeah.
Moving on. Thank you very much, Erich, for the question.
Was that the first question?
No, that was the second question.
Oh, okay.
Yes, exactly.
Oh yeah, that was the tab question.
Yes, exactly. The third question now is from Erica Evil. Hi, everybody. You spend a lot of time together during tours. So could you tell us a funny or embarrassing experience that had happened to every member, including Kai, during a tour? Something that doesn't annoy to anybody.
What was the last sentence?
Something that wouldn't annoy any one of us.
The annoy?
That if we annoy, that if we
I
tell the story or so on, well, we wouldn't know till the story is out.
Yeah.
And how is it how is it embarrassing if it's not annoying?
Yeah.
Oh, true. So it can be embarrassing.
Got a philosopher here.
Floating in the river.
We have a
But he's got a
philosopher.
point.
We have a critic, and what else do we have?
We'll see towards the end of the podcast.
Yeah.
Remember this.
We don't have a podcast anymore.
Yes. Hey, we have a host as well. One host, one critic, one philosopher.
Maybe something like, I vaguely remember something like, I was out from the venue, the show was about to start, but I couldn't get in or something like that. And call, come get me, motherfucker. Something like that.
Spinal Tap moment.
Maybe even a couple of times it has happened.
Oh no! Hey, now I'm starting to remember as well.
I can't remember where.
That has happened 2-3 times, I think.
Yeah, last podcast we talked about like not finding the venue,
The stage.
but that's usually
No, but that's
like in the
different.
morning.
That's different. But just before the
Yeah, but
show,
like
like
they're standing there on
the street or something.
Not the first time.
there's the line, people going in, and hey, I'm the artist, let me in. The show is about to start. I think, yeah.
I had something in my mind. Yeah, about myself. Wacken 2006, 12 o'clock at noon. Wintersun show starts. Intro starts. Who is with his bass in a toilet, in an outdoor toilet, sitting there? Intro starts. Hey, with the bass there, like, just a little bit of panic.
Right.
Just a bit.
Just a bit.
And then like running to the stage directly from the toilet.
Yeah, I remember that still.
Oh man. Yeah, this puts us on a spot. Like there are many, of course, stories like
Puts us on the cheese spot.
Yari's in the mood today.
Yeah, he's
so
in a cheese spot.
Maybe he changed the G strings of his guitars today.
Again.
Again. Okay. That is funny or embarrassing experience. Funny or embarrassing experience. Funny, there are many. Absolutely.
Okay, tell us one.
What like what? Tell us one.
Well, funny experience is Rome. Like I was very excited to be coming to Rome for the first time, and then the moment when the bus stopped and we got out of the bus, we were like, "What the hell is this?" I was like, "Wait a minute, are we playing here? Like, are you serious? We could not use the toilets of the venue as well. Like, there was no, like, it was a very interesting venue. So that's a funny story.
It was really small.
Yeah.
We barely fit the stage.
Yeah.
But we had we played football next to the venue on the day. A lot, actually.
Yeah.
That was nice.
With the whispered guys. That
and Black Therapy.
Yeah.
Right. That was very, very interesting for sure.
But somehow I feel like those smaller shows are some of the most fun shows.
True. Memorable.
Yeah, because they're more
intimate and
intimate. Yeah, more close. Kind of more. What is that?
Yeah, when people see you more close,
atmosphere.
they are more excited.
Yeah.
Yeah. That is true. It's just different.
Right.
Of course, like some mega shows with all the screens, lights, pyros, everything are really cool as well. But
more intimate and sweaty.
Yeah, sweaty stuff. Hey, that was the sweatiest show. Where was it? In London?
So intimate
London,
and sweaty equals fun.
Yeah.
I mean, for me, I think it was New Zealand. No. Brisbane, Australia. We even had to keep the backstage door open as well, and from time to time go and take a breath.
Was that where the went like up? The venue went like up.
I remember being outside there, I think, but I don't remember now the venue. New Zealand, that show I remember.
Yeah. New Zealand was very packed. It was a small place, but what I meant was Brisbane.
Yeah, one of the Australian shows was like really sweaty.
Well, now I got a
That was the last one.
New Zealand in Wellington.
Wellington, yes.
Yeah.
But one of the Australian venues, there were like these big PAs, and you could hit your head to those, and then the venue went like the audience went up like this. and it was a
Sydney.
really
Sydney.
okay. Was it Sydney?
Max Watt.
Really?
Yeah.
I
Sydney.
remember that being a really great
Okay.
show.
Yeah.
Well, they all were, I think.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah,
definitely.
absolutely. Yeah. Okay, what was the other stories? Pasi, what did you say?
Funny stories.
Sweaty stuff.
What?
Sweaty stuff, toilet stuff. Jari, what did you say? Being dumped in the streets or left behind.
One funny story I can tell you. Somebody apparently thought that I was the guitar player of Steel Panther, and I signed their. Oops, I shouldn't have brought this up. Now I did, so okay. Well, yeah, I don't know. Some guy thought that I was the guitar player of Steel Panther, and he brought me all the pictures, and he said, "Could you sign these?" I was like, "Okay, well, fair enough." I signed those. But yeah, but I don't know from where do I look like one. I had not the beard at that time, but yeah.
You look like a Steel Panther.
Yeah, and the funny stories as well. One of us tried to get on. Well, okay, it was funny that Steel Panther had the same bus as us when we were touring with Arch Enemy in Europe, and at one point we had a day off, and we were in the same city in Hamburg where Steel Panther was playing also.
Mm-hmm.
But then they were playing this on the same date as us in Oslo as well. So our buses, because in Oslo, it's really hard to find a place to park right in front of the venue. So only the Arch Enemy's bus and their truck was parked right next to the venue. So our bus was parked about 2 blocks down somewhere near to the center. And I think one of you guys tried to get on the bus of Steel Panther by mistake.
Oh.
It might have been one of the. Yeah.
I think could be
No,
Tupi as well, because Mo came later like, hey, somebody tried to get on Steel Panther's bus, like, because we all have the chips, the electronic chips to get, to wave in front of the door so that the door opens. And one of the guys wanted to probably go back to the bus and went the wrong street and tried to open the door, and it was an opening, started banging the bus, and the driver came like, what are you doing? Can't get in the bus. Who are you? Who are you?
Yeah, I vaguely remember this, but no, not really who it was. I remember we went to see the show, and then Asim, you fell asleep during the show.
Yeah, I loved the show very much.
You fell asleep during the show.
Apparently, yeah.
Okay. I was waiting. There it came from Teemu. I was waiting for something.
It was epic.
How can you sleep during a...
I will tell now the embarrassing and the best and the funniest story as well, because I left these guys. I was like, okay, I'm going back to the bus. Now, our bus was in the center, right next to the venue, right near the Reeperbahn. And so I wanted to go back, but when I went outside, now, as I said, we had the same buses, right? They're the same company. They look the same. They have the same trailer. And I went outside. I was like, wow, this is pretty cool. They brought the bus here. I went to the bus. I started waving the chip as well. And then somebody came to me and tried to ask me the pictures. And when he did, then I realized, oh shit, this could be actually Steel Panther's bus. Oh. Then I took the cab and I went back to our bus. So, yeah.
What about them? Do you remember anything?
Yes.
Well, he just said that Asim sleeping on a...
Hey, okay. That was part of my story. Hey.
Well, one thing that comes to mind that happened to me in Japan, and we kind of touched this story in another podcast.
Maybe we touch a bit more.
It was about this special pedal that I bought in Japan before our show in, I think, was it in Tokyo?
What was it?
Miku pedal, which makes like these anime character tones. You hook your guitar up to it and it makes your guitar playing sound like this anime character that says these phrases in Japanese. And yeah, we tested it in soundcheck and it sounded cool. We thought that let's try it on Death and the Healing intro where I'm playing the melody alone.
Yeah.
And it worked pretty nicely there. But then, of course, we then forgot to detach the cables from the pedal, and it had no power adapter on. So when you do this in a pedal with a battery, then that drains the battery. The battery is still on all the time, even if the pedal is disengaged. So then the show comes, and then the pedal is not used any other time, of course. So we're not even thinking that it might not work. So then the intro starts, and we put the pedal on, and yeah, was Miro was with us, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know what happened then. Like maybe he didn't check that if the light is on. But what happened then is that the battery was out, and it actually then also, because the sound went through the pedal, but there was no battery, it kind of made the sound like clean
Clean DI
signal,
sound.
clean DI sound. And I was playing the healing intro with that sound, which was kind of funny on its own, but that was not the plan that we had originally.
So how did you get the distortion back then?
I think then Miro realized what happened,
okay.
and then he like switched.
Because I couldn't hold myself. I was waiting. I was on the the right side of the stage, so I'm looking at Teemu, and then the clean part starts, and I started laughing my ass off. I just went backstage as well.
And it's like your spotlight moment.
Yeah.
You're standing there alone.
Pretty much.
Special intro coming.
Yeah.
Hey, talking about the spotlight moment, I have the best and the embarrassing part of the story ever. Probably the second or the third festival with Wintersun, 2017. We are in Portugal. I think could be third. Don't remember. And there it is. Miku
that's
pedal.
the Miku.
Oh yeah.
And I start Sons of Winter and Star, right? So Yari, like, I go on the stage, I get the crowd going, like, yeah, everybody's like, yes, okay. And then Yari starts introducing, like, hey, our new guitar player, Azim Sierra. And then for some reason, the guitar is not working at all. Like, nothing works, right? And then he keeps pointing at me, like, he points at me like this, right? It's actually on YouTube as well. If you write, like, Sons of Winter and Stars Vagos Festival, Vagos Open Air in Wintersun, he keeps pointing at me while I'm still going away from the stage, and he keeps pointing at me like.
You walk off the stage like really embarrassed, and I'm pointing like.
Like, here's our new guitar player,
and there he goes.
And there he goes.
I was like, hey, no, what the hell? Oh. So yeah, that's some embarrassing, interesting stuff. Yeah.
Fun stuff happens.
Yeah. They're
Well,
quite
Jari, you and me, we can admit it together here that some song stars like Winter Madness in the old days.
Mm. Yeah. Welcome to the club.
Yeah.
I think you did it first. And then I was fucking with you for years about that mistake.
And then you did it 2 or 3 times in a row, or 2 times in a row.
And in one no story, so the countdown comes on, and I got 3, fuck.
The bass sound is so.
So I had to join the club.
Yeah.
Is Azim or Teemu in the club yet?
Yeah.
I think I did in the rehearsals.
I was the last one.
Nah, rehearsals.
Yeah, it's gonna be on the show.
Doesn't count. Yeah.
I think he did that.
You're not in the club.
Mm-hmm. It was. Hey, another embarrassing and fun story, which Jukka would remember very well, because Jukka nearly was on the floor, and me too, after looking at Jukka. So, Innsbruck, 2017, comes the part of, when Teemu and I, we share, like at the end of the Winter Madness solo, we are standing in the front, and, my part comes in. For some reason, I kind of, I slipped on the stage as well, and I fell down once, which was very interesting, which I'll tell after this, because this is another funny story. But then I started playing the solo, and I skipped few notes, and I kept on going.
Yeah, you're just like going higher and higher and higher and higher the whole goddamn time. It's like, what the fuck is he's accelerating like hell there?
Instead of playing the solo, like the solo part that it is there, I just kept on running on the same string. And Yuka was like, what the hell is going on? Yeah, so that was that. But at the same stage, I fell down as well. I slipped and I fell. And all I saw was audience and then Miro's face. Because when I fell down, I saw the side stage, right? So Miro is sitting there like, and then when he noticed, then he ran to me to pick me up. Like I was laughing so hard.
So this
Because
proves,
Miro was sitting there like,
so this proves our last podcast when we were asked who's the clumsy one.
hey, hey.
There have been a
That's
few
supposed
occasions, actually, another thing that is almost put me on the floor because everybody uses in-ears, and I hear Jari's vocals quite well. So when Jari puts the mic in the audience and we're playing the song, and all of a sudden comes someone who was very intoxicated singing, I don't know what chorus or verse it was, and coming to sing like yell. So like, trying to do it. And you hear the whole thing and try to keep up the mood there. Like that those things are something like once
priceless.
I think it was Innsbruck or one of the Austrian shows actually, that the mic was a long time there. It was like a freaking half of a verse or something.
And he kept the mic as well. He didn't let the
let
mic go.
It's like it's like you're there like, come
this
on,
is not happening.
God damn it. God damn it, man.
I usually try to keep the mic so high that you can hear the audience, but they cannot reach the mic.
Yeah.
This guy
Sometimes
went like,
this guy came like not letting go and
yeah. Embarrassing. Hey, my guitar swing was embarrassing. That was a Nivala.
I think we would be, if we start to talk about those things, we're going to be here many hours.
Yeah. Next question.
Next question.
Yeah.
All right. Epikortalai, the legend. Hey, where's the game, man? Okay.
Oh, yeah, the game.
Yeah.
How is my character doing? What is it called? Monttu. Monttu the Tonttu. Yeah.
All right. So he says, hi, guys. AP here. Do you have any thoughts how VR and AR technology could be used in music industry? Who would like to start? Virtual reality? Augmented reality?
Oh, okay.
In music, one experience to...
Is the augmented reality really like... so I know Apple was doing something with the iPhone, but I haven't seen anyone doing anything cool with it.
Yuka, you were saying?
Yeah, I was just thinking about the glasses that some experience for audience that they would see themselves on the stage from the eyes of a player, for example, or something. Well, of course, you can do it normally as well, but maybe it would be a different kind of experience to play there as part of the band on stage and be one of the musicians and see it from the other perspective. I don't know what just came into my head.
I think something will come with the metaverse. Maybe you can play shows there. And
yeah, those
come and see the show in the metaverse.
Yeah, that's gonna happen.
No, it's already being done. Like the tickets have been sold for Justin Bieber's gig. He is probably going to be the first. Yeah.
Okay.
He's probably going to be the first artist to do the metaverse show. Snoop Dogg is doing as well, I believe so.
Plug in the Matrix.
Yeah.
But what does Teemu think?
Yeah. Well, kind of living in a bit of that virtual reality like every day with all this Skype stuff already. But yeah, for me the most interesting part is probably like how it then could be helpful with like one-on-one teaching sessions, for example.
I guess it will get better and better all the time.
Yeah, yeah. Even now, like just internet connections having gotten much better over the years and getting better and better all the time. That already helps a lot, and people getting better screens and maybe eventually then some kind of glasses solution that you're really like feel more like you're in the same room with the person. Yeah, there's a lot of possibilities. Another interesting thing is like these classes that you can put some information in, like or even like contact lenses that would have the yeah
Black Mirror stuff.
yeah
It's already been there, but it's not
Yeah.
public yet. But yeah.
Gotta start buying real estate from the metaverse.
Talking about the VR and AR, yes, VR is already been used in the music industry quite much, but it's not that well known. There's another band called Starset. Not sure I will write a reply to that band's name under the question that you have asked. They have done a VR museum of the band, so you are able to join in the museum and basically walk around and see all their discography and so on, and touch the music player, play the music, and so on, and just walk around. Some bands have done communities as well in the VR as well, if I remember correctly. Not sure metal bands though, but like definitely some artists have done so that you're able to join some communities, hang around, talk with each other in the VR world, and so on. Uh, yes, there is a possibility in the future, which I think they have been talking about doing about like absolutely a metaverse thing with the Justin Bieber thing, that people would be attending the concert as if, like obviously as if Bieber is playing, and you get to meet people, you hang around in different places and so on. So that kind of stuff. AR could be beneficial. AR could be more interesting with the thing that Temu talked about. So basically, somebody's right in front of you as well, and you are, teaching in person with the glasses on and so on. That would be very interesting, though that technology had been tried on and being worked on by Apple as well, but did not see the surface or did not see the public market yet. So there are different things that has already been done. Technology is out there, but not public.
There will be, of course, all kinds of cool things and taking those things way deeper than before. But you're still missing the element, at least when it comes to concerts, that you're not actually experiencing them with your own eyes. You're experiencing that through something. But I guess, yeah.
If
So
you
with
guys have
AR,
not,
so with AR, it's like you put glass on and literally Asim, like you can be here in my
Yeah.
room.
Yeah.
Mm.
Well, with your phone, for instance, with
It's like-
iPhone, you can already do the AR. Actually, AR is done much better by Google in that sense. In that way that, for instance, you can bring objects right in front of you as well. The AR technology is used nowadays in the cars
like
as
the
well.
Dead
a lot.
Mouse, the one Dead Mouse music video.
Not sure which one.
Which it's from his home, his castle or whatever, and there's like a lot of these cartoon characters dancing around.
Yeah, that's AR.
Yeah.
Right, that's AR. Correct.
Fun video.
Yeah. So, for instance, in Mercedes or Audi has started to use that as well. Mercedes has been using it with quite some time. They're probably one of the top ones in the industry of automobile to use the AR. So you are able to, kind of see on the HUD, like the directions, for instance, the map right on the screen as well. And as if you know, like where to turn, after how much distance can you turn right, and then the arrows would be there as if they're on the street. They're going, they light up on the street so that you really know where you're turning.
Yeah.
And so on and so on. So technology is definitely there, but in the music industry, that would be very interesting to see that happen.
Will be fun to see what happens.
Yeah. If you
Yeah.
guys haven't seen the movie yet called Ready Player One, it's available on HBO Max. I don't know, HBO Max does not work in States. I guess it works in States, not in Germany or Central Europe, at least in Finland it does. I think it might be available on Netflix as well. But Ready Player One, that is something really interesting to see. So the pop culture and how we are heading towards the VR or the metaverse or certain worse world.
The Matrix.
Certain worse world.
Yeah.
Mm.
Mm-hmm. Demo, you were saying, sorry, I interrupted.
Yeah, I was thinking like one cool application that came to mind, using your glasses that would kind of scan your, let's say, piano keys, and there would be a camera that you would kind of see through the glasses, your hands, but it would also like show you like you're
Precise.
listening to music, and it would show you chord progression, what's going on,
Scales.
like light up these scales or chords. And same with the guitar, it could be like recognizing the guitar necks and showing you, okay, put your hand here. Great learning tool.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Like a real Guitar Hero.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. From the glasses, you
Isn't
can
there
really
like
see.
already this kind of like analog kind of things? You can put those frets.
Yeah, the lighting up.
Yeah,
frets,
lighting thing.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't you try that at some point?
I don't have those. I have the stickers, even more old school. The
Analog.
stickers, like for the note names. I have one like teaching guitar with that.
Well, so
Nice.
maalarin teippi thingy there.
Yeah.
That's
Through
Yeah, but I've
regular
been thinking.
tape and put your own note.
Yeah. But I've been thinking about checking out also the Bluetooth LED strips that you put like next to your frets.
Oh, that's nice.
Okay.
Interesting. Definitely link that up for others to see on forum as well. That'd be nice. Some really, really beneficial stuff coming to the music industry, unless there are always two sides of things we can see. I mean, it could be taken as a very beneficial thing as well, but then as Yuka said, you really start losing the live element of, being with the people,
Lose our humanity.
Yeah, go towards not being a robot, but you get my point.
I mean, think about it. Like, this is our 20th podcast, and we haven't sat down in one place, all four of us, since then, to do a podcast or anything, basically. That's insane, right? So this is what we have come to. Brilliant. So all I see is like the computer and the fucking Logitech Brio camera. Why?
Yeah.
Singularity is coming.
Yeah.
Merge with the machines and then
Free
goodbye,
advertisement
off
for
we go to
Logitech.
space.
Yeah.
Exactly. What a marketing scheme. Anyways, moving on to the next question. Thank you for asking that question. That was a very interesting question. And it's a huge topic, definitely. That could be, that could have an endless discussion. Okay, moving on. Shala has asked us a question. Hi guys, Shala here. I hope you're doing great. This question is for all of you. As a non-European and a university student, my dream is to do my job in health sector in a European country for the rest of my life, and maybe just part of it. So the 75% of the band is living in the country where they hadn't grown up in. And I believe you have so much experience now to give advice about what to consider when moving to another country. If you were still living in your home countries, and let's just imagine you didn't have to make any choices related to family, which country would you move to, and what would be the reasons? For example, the language, the diversity, the people, the time that must pass to adapt, the health system, and yada 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 yada. Thanks a lot already.
Whoa, quite many points that.
I'm the 25% that cannot answer this.
Well, number one, I would say that I think it's really an eye opener that you move abroad and see things from a different point of view.
Was there a lot of paperwork?
No, not just. I don't mean that. Of course, there's always paperwork if you move your registration and everything to another country. This and that depending on the country, of course. But what I mean is here that you start to see through a bit different eyes when you live among a different sort of a culture. And of course, this goes in the way that depends. Of course, I live in Europe still, so in that scale, if I would go to maybe to Far East Asia or African country or wherever, I think it might be totally even further a different matter. But my point is just that it would do good for everyone, just saying it like this, to see things from a different perspective. That's my point. Traveling, of course, helps a lot, but I have to say that that's nothing compared when you actually live somewhere.
Yeah, what is the difference? Like, obviously you visited countries, but now you live in another country. Is there a huge difference? Like just visiting, going on doing a show,
Of course,
but now actually living there.
Of course, it's completely
But
different.
how big is the difference? It's like a culture shock or what?
No, not a culture shock. That, of course, it's hard to say because it depends on an individual, however somebody experiences things. For me, not so much, of course. But there are different things that...
Yeah, I guess it would be different if you would move to Japan or something.
Yeah, of course. That I can see that pluses and minuses. But let's say over here, way more openness. And that has been really nice in general, because I also talk and being open. I'm not saying that the Finns don't do it. No, definitely not. But they are more. It's kind of maybe, well, it's hard to say. Europe scale, it might be the more north you go, the more socially distant maybe people are. The more south you go, the more socially close they are. But then again, organizing and these sort of practical matters, then it may be the other way around. The more north you go, the more south. It's hard to say. But for example, the city here, like many other European big cities, they're in the end like places where a lot of different cultures are, not just the local population.
I guess it makes sense if you look at history, like people move to more north and north. They want to get away from people.
Yeah. I know the feeling. I love being in the summer cabins and being in the forest and peace and quiet. I love that, and that's in the blood, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
It's in your blood.
But yeah, I don't know how to sum it up now because I'm thinking so many things in my head. This is a very, very, very big, wide topic.
What does Teemu say? Yeah, please continue.
No, I was just thinking already with what would be the country that I would move in. But I have to say that, of course, naturally it comes to my head that maybe like-minded culture where I come from, health system should work really good. That there's a you have that option and that something is backing you up because that's the most important thing that everybody needs.
Right.
But I don't know. I kind of always, although I've never lived there, only visited. But Northwest Coast, US, Canada. I don't know. That's something that draws me so much. The West Coast side. Now I'm not talking about actually the people, the mentality, but more or less like the surroundings, and I'm really, really, really nature oriented because nature is our home and not this box where I'm sitting. Somehow I like that.
You're sitting in the swamp. What do you mean?
Oh yeah, sorry. Yeah.
What do you mean, man?
Yeah.
Sitting in the box.
Sitting in the box, yeah. But
Metaverse is our home.
Yeah. Oh yeah. God damn it. Well, let me be in this. Don't say that I'm in some system. I'm just being happy here. Yeah.
We will be happy in Metaverse.
I just have started now a monologue here because on the other hand, I like so many different places in the world, so it's not that simple to choose. I don't know. Was the Charla asking here what is the best European country in her place to go to?
No, she said just which country. Like which country would you move to, and what would be the reasons?
I don't know. You guys continue.
Teemu?
Yeah, I think I'm more or less on the same page with everything that Jukka said there. Moving from Finland to Austria, I think, is quite similar than moving from Finland to Switzerland, I would guess. I mean, Switzerland is maybe a little bit more isolated
Expensive.
or independent in a way that not being part of the European Union, so means more bureaucracy and more paperwork, handling all the stuff. But I think sharing a lot of the same mentality and cultural things within the Central European countries here.
I just have to say quickly one thing, that if it comes to the health system, that Switzerland is really, really good in that. Austria is really good. And just really saying one thing, that Finland has changed. Finland has a really good health system, don't get me wrong. But what it used to be 15 years ago was way better. And the system that is in Central Europe, many places, it still is here. And I've noticed that, and I've noticed checking the Finnish news and everything, that when it comes to nurses and many things, that Finland is doing something weird. They're focusing their monies on some other companies, that health system should come first, and education. But yeah, sorry.
Yeah, there's some similarities for sure between Finland and Switzerland. Like I think the mentality is not actually that different for a lot of part. Like there is maybe a little bit of that reserved nature in some of the Swiss people, same way as in Finns often. The appreciation for nature. I mean, it's different kinds of nature. Finland being very flat and forests and lakes, whereas here it's like all about the mountains and the you drive 1 hour that way, it's totally different scenery than 1 hour that way. So it
was new for me even to drive even less than an hour one way, that you have snow on the few hundred meters higher, and the valleys there's nothing. And in Finland, because everything is flat, you're used to that snow everywhere, or not snow at all.
Yeah. On the other hand, I love the 4 clear seasons in Finland. I love the colder winters, and whenever it's snow, it's really nice. And then on the other hand, the summer is really nice, but it's quite short. Usually the nice period is quite short. Whereas here we have a really long and hot summer, and depending, of course, where you are, but here in Zurich, where I live, in the city, it's more or less like Helsinki in southern Finland, where it's you get lucky if you get snow that stays on the ground during the winter. It doesn't happen every year properly.
Same here. And Finland definitely is like, I like it how everybody in many programs, every shows, it's like how the respect for nature is with the Finns, for example. At least from my eyes, what I see, kind of like you are reminded where you belong and take care of nature. That's really nice.
Yeah. One thing that is nice here in Switzerland is that because it's very compact, it's quite small country with a little bit more people than in Finland. Finland is very spread out, means that if you want to go from one city to the other, it's usually a longer drive or train ride, where here everything is really well connected and like same as in Finland, there's a really good public transport system, which is nice, but here maybe even more like more connected and more connections, better public transport. One thing that I really like more about Finland is the bicycle trails. Well, trails, there's great trails here, like when you go to the mountains and to the forest, but like in the city, that's well arranged. In Helsinki, for example, you can drive your bike very safely, not having to go within the cars, which here you're kind of like one of the cars going between them.
But it's kind of small window when it's fun to bicycle. But you bicycle in the middle of winter, right?
Yeah.
I remember.
Well, at least in Helsinki, all year round. But here a little bit less. Yeah, there's, like you said, such a broad topic. There's a lot of things to be discussed, but I don't want to take the whole whole podcast just to talk about Switzerland. Something I want to mention that is, I think, cool here and like interesting perhaps to know is that everything works like really uh, on point. Everything is very structured and like, I mean, I guess it's not for everybody, but like there's long traditions for almost everything here. The country has such long history and like yeah, not having to be, you know, um, yeah, compared to Finland, for example, Finland has a lot of struggles in its history, and of course every country has its you know, struggles in the past. But like I feel like here in Switzerland, already the previous generations don't necessarily have the same kind of like burden as the
As the Finns.
as the Finns of
But it might also be part of the mentality how people have been taking. If you
yeah,
refer to past bad experiences, and Finnish mentality might be way more melancholic.
Yeah, that's true too.
Can be
Some
taken
places
that way
how
as
we
well.
take things.
Yeah, that's true too. But for example, the approach to money here is quite different than in Finland. I find here it's
Lower taxes.
well, I don't just mean that, but just like the mentality about kind of like if you are in Switzerland and you're part of the system and you know you work a normal job, then you don't have to worry about money for the rest of your life, pretty much. Whereas in Finland, you still like some people have to do 2 jobs, and you know it's tougher. It's just tougher there. And here, it's quite normal that people work 60%, maybe 70%, 80%. Because the salary level is so different, and of course it's
But the
expensive as
expenses
well.
are also
Expenses are also, of course, very different. But yeah, I think here it's from what I've seen, and I've only been here for a while, but from what I've seen, it's working quite well. The healthcare system and everything. So
But wherever you live, I guess the main thing is that you should be happy.
yeah,
It's nothing to do with money or whatsoever.
yeah. There's so many other things. I mean, I
Yeah,
think,
but if you don't have the money, you can't be happy as well. Like you can't move from a country to country or kind of not even live hand to mouth in the same country that you're living. So money does has a very profound stronghold, let's say.
Well,
On
it's a must, but
yeah, but that should not be the only reason to define happiness. Definitely
yeah.
not. Yeah.
The most important things for me, I'd say, are safety. Just like you know, um, I wouldn't want to live in a place where I have to be careful if I go out when it's dark.
yeah.
And or I mean, of course, careful, but you know, anything can happen anywhere. But like, yeah, I like that aspect of both Finland and Switzerland, that it's relatively quite safe countries to live in when it comes to violent crimes, for example. And I mean, yeah, the culture, that's something I'm getting into. And I think integrating, like Jukka touched, like how valuable it can be, like from a personal perspective, to understand more about another culture. I think that's very interesting, and trying to not only like when you are as a tourist visit another country, but actually starting to integrate into another culture. That's interesting. And then of course, like the music culture as well, and the scene. I think Switzerland has a lot of cool music stuff also going on. I'm slowly getting into that scene bit by bit as well. So that's nice. Helsinki has a very, very nice music scene, I think. So
Used to.
that's
We have a lot of metal bands.
yeah.
But how's the pop music scene in Switzerland?
The pops.
Is there like pop stars?
Pop stars, you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are
I
they
haven't
poppin'?
actually. I haven't followed it that much. I think there's a lot of like German German music, like Swiss music sung in German, just like in Germany. Like a lot of the pop stuff is, instead of English, it's like local language. So it's not necessarily like international pop stars.
So it's like Jenni Vartiainen.
Yeah.
She's a Finnish pop star.
Yeah.
All right.
But
yeah.
Yeah, I was just gonna say that.
This is huge
This
topic
is
because we're talking about it, and now we are not even with us in.
Exactly.
But,
It's I will hold myself back because I could do a podcast of my own regarding this topic. Like,
I guess we all could.
yeah, but like I've lived in different countries in that sense, and I come from completely different norms and values of European culture. So it's like it would take forever. So I would agree with Yuka and Teemu with most of the things they have said, or basically all of the things they have said. And on top of that, there would be so many things as well that we were not able to touch yet in this answering the question, because there are so many factors as well involved. But
I think, do you have something in mind that we haven't said yet?
Well,
I mean,
most importantly, the thing is that you need to find like-mindedness. I mean, wherever you are today in the world that we are living in, that we can work digitally throughout. So I would highly recommend people, if like they are thinking about like, oh, I want to move to a country because the physicality of it is different. Sure. But then again, if you're satisfied with the nature and everything like that where you are, and you're fine with the health system and education and whatnot, depending on what you do, sake of your happiness and so on, I think you should just go towards where you have like-minded people more around you. And
I agree with that.
Yeah, and because today we have the option and opportunity to work from anywhere we want to. We just need a different mindset for it. We need to get ready for the metaverse. No. Okay, but because we will start working there as well soon. Like, accept it or not, nobody wanted to accept internet in early 90s. Look where we are. So people believe that we have postmen for delivering mails to us. We don't need emails. Well,
or smartphones.
Exactly. Who needs a GPS?
All my friends are like, you don't need the touchscreen. That's bullshit.
Yeah.
Now they all have one.
Times change, so we need to adapt to that. And I think like-mindedness. Secondly,
it's like Jukka has finally accepted that Ghost Dance Macabre is a good song.
But it is a good song.
Finally accepted.
I put you on a spot.
Oh,
the
God.
G spot.
You're revealing things. I told him actually, when was it? Yesterday, a few days ago, that
you finally came around.
It's a good song, and it only took 4 years to admit it.
Yeah.
Wow.
You finally came around.
I did not know that you did not like the song, or okay. Interesting.
So what were you saying?
Well,
yeah, but like-mindedness,
definitely,
your peace of mind, like if you feel comfortable being where you are. And as what Yuka said earlier as well, I completely agree on the fact that the physicality of being somewhere, virtually you can have all your friends as well, but when you're socially not there with them as well, man, it's going to affect your brain so much. No matter what we do, we are not made for this. This is not in our DNAs yet, that we are able to, just survive on a chair and a PC in front of us.
But it will be.
DNA would have to change for that. DNA would have to change for that. We need the physical presence. Yari has plans. So definitely stick around. Yeah, exactly. So definitely being somewhere around close to the people who are like-minded Doesn't have to be family, doesn't have to be like necessarily have to be a family as well. That, oh God, like that's the only ones that I can live with. Um, like I don't have any family members in Finland, for instance. So yeah, there are many factors that could be considered. Money should not be the factor to move to a country that, oh well, well, wait a minute, like there, if I get a job in Switzerland, I could be I could be happy for the rest of my
Unless
life.
you have a big business and you want to avoid some taxes, like all the big companies do.
Are you, Jari, moving to Switzerland?
I'm thinking about it.
Yeah, exactly. Hey, let's see him move out of Vuosaari
Like
first.
all these big tech companies, they have like their businesses.
Let's see if he can get.
Ireland and wherever.
Let's see if he can get away from the mountains of Vuosaari first.
Oh.
Like, because we can see Yari staying in the mountains of Vuosaari somewhere. Like, no, this is it. This is my life.
I will create the mountains in metaverse.
Yeah.
Something similar to Vuosaari or better, or
Then you can move into my country.
Oh.
Into metaverse.
There's the plan. Move
Maybe.
into my country.
Maybe you can.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, somebody has a fence.
No. He needs to. He has
Not
those.
just a wall around.
I'm gonna build a big wall. Big wall.
You need to apply for visas and stuff. Holy shit, man! God damn it!
But
Do
there's
we
gonna
have?
there's gonna be a big, beautiful gate. So maybe you can come in.
I can already see myself climbing there, trying to climb over the wall.
Hey, but do we have the visas already? Do we have the acceptance of coming?
Can you still go to Canada?
Shall we talk about visas?
Yeah, exactly.
Are
Do
you
I
still
need
allowed
to?
to Canada?
But I've always been allowed. They just did not give me the visa in time. They just like, yeah, that's like freaking hell. They replied to the visa that was applied.
Intentionally, they didn't
be.
give on time.
Yeah. It's like, yeah, applied in 2018. They replied back in 2019. We would need some documents. Are you fucking kidding? Like, thanks. Right. So let's wrap this up, this question. Thank you very much, Shala, for asking. So yes, these are definitely one of the factors. If I were to move to some country, I think I've become too global in that sense that I would not love to stay in just one country as well. Because nowadays, if there are possibilities of working like anywhere from anywhere, all we need is a good internet connection. That's gonna happen anyways. And good like-minded people around, safety, stability, money-wise, and the rest is a ball game. If you have stability money-wise as well, you can just take a flight and go to some other country for a little while and come back. Oh, that pretty much the case. So it's the world is becoming smaller and smaller for good reasons as well. You can just take a flight, go to Germany, stay there, visit friends and whoever, and just come back however. So I'm just considering that, living in a box as well is not a problem anymore, as long as you are knowing what you want to do and you are outgoing person and you go out and meet people and so on as well. Like, why the hell not? So those are my point of views. But regarding the healthcare system and so on, as Yuka was saying, I would agree regarding the healthcare systems and so on in comparison to what Finland is doing or how the things are going and so on. But that shouldn't be the only factor as well for you to move to a country as well. But as you said, you want to work in the health sector. So, Shala, that's something for you to consider. That do you want to, consider that to go to a country where health sector needs more work to develop and so on, or do you want to be secure and just like go to a country where the health sector is already doing pretty well? So there's always different options. Many people still keep on asking me after like 11. Well, I moved here in 2007, right? At the end of 2007, November 21st. That's when I landed. The world has changed so much in that sense that even Finland has changed so much that many people still ask me that, oh, you moved there just for music. Like, I want to do the same. And I recommend them not to do it. Because the music is absolutely not the same the way it was in 2007. Not just for Finland, but for the world. it doesn't really matter where you're coming from now or where you're sitting, as long as you're producing a good music and you're absolutely able to, collaborate throughout, like virtually as well, anywhere. You don't need to be physically present somewhere to make a difference nowadays. Like our fan base is all around the world as well, right? We just don't have a fan base in Finland. And actually, it has happened to be the case as well that Wintersun, when Wintersun came out, was not as big in Finland as it was in other countries as well. So that's the thing. Living in the country does not mean that you just walk in the country nowadays, particularly because the physical or the social approach is completely different now. And you can do all that throughout social media, which is so much easier, which is made so much easier for us as well. But we still, as we are, we adapt to the things much later as human beings. So we still haven't really gotten the grasp of like, oh, we don't need to be physically present to do something. That's all the difference is. So consider that and just adapt to how the world is working and so on, and stop living in the past. That's the biggest lesson I'm learning too.
I was just thinking for a band perspective, if somebody wants to move somewhere to collaborate, you can collaborate, but then again, I would be encouraged to meet the people face to face in the end who are you're going to be with.
Surely.
Rather than just remotely.
But you can do that by taking a flight, going there,
that is true.
meeting, like us, for instance, one lives in Switzerland, one lives in Austria, one lives in mountains of Vuosaari and Metaverse. I don't know, what would you call them?
Well, our situation is just different because we need to stay away from each other.
Exactly. Yeah. So yeah, that stuff. And when time comes that you can meet up and collaborate and do things together and so on, that makes a difference. And you guys kind of right as well in that sense, because the old school way of sitting in the jam room, so to speak, rehearsal place where you sit down, play together and have a good time and come up with some things, those could be considered as well.
But Jari, if you would move somewhere,
where would that be?
What do you think?
Somewhere where there's the most freedom, and what Teemu said also, like safety, freedom, less taxes, and warm weather. That's my dream place. Simple as that.
Sounds like
and like-minded people.
Sounds like UAE to me.
Florida, maybe. Miami. I don't know.
Safety. I can definitely. Hats off to Miami for safety.
Yeah,
right. Okay. Moving on. Next question.
There's safe areas. It depends.
Oh yeah, sure, definitely.
But I mean, it's like if nowadays with the pandemic, if you're thinking about moving, I definitely wouldn't want to move to a country where there's continuous lockdowns and you cannot do anything. I mean, that's totally bullshit. I think people should they should be allowed to take their own risks and to do whatever they want.
All right. Cool. Thank you guys for putting in your lovely comments on the question. And I hope you got the answers a little bit, Shala, from this and rest of the people who are watching. But we are moving on to the next question by Mila. Sorry for that. Our new patron. Welcome to Patreon. Thank you very much for your support. And only one question. Damn, yeah, unfortunately, there's only one question per person in a podcast. Well, I would like to know from each of you, what accomplishments do you see yourself achieving in the next 5 to 10 years?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I'm definitely planning to release multiple albums, good stuff, go play them live and, enjoy what I've been doing so far. Basically, I'm already now like living my dream life. I get to do what I love to do, and I want to continue doing that as long as I live. So I don't see like I have to do any major changes to my life. I kind of enjoy what I'm doing now.
Yeah. I don't know, like specific things. I'm at the moment, at least, in a better path than before times, knowing myself more and everything. But I would say that just would be nice to create new kinds of new experiences for myself and for others as well, meaning playing shows, for example, and pandemic situations are stopping things and certain things are putting to a halt. I don't know. But on the other hand, I have to agree with Jari here that kind of like music-wise and doing what I love is being there. So it's kind of like improving that and maybe certain areas expand them more and go further, but kind of like, yeah.
One thing I would love to maybe do. I've never been a big fan of traveling, but maybe I would like to travel a bit, like take a vacation. Because I always, when we travel, it's like job.
Mm-hmm.
It's never been like, I never really travel like on my own or take a vacation.
Cool.
Never.
That's nice.
That could be fun.
Definitely.
That's what I'm also actually kind of waiting, that times will change to a better. Could do those things more or less. Well, you can do them now as well, but it's kind of like very limited. And
yeah, because on tour you really
so
don't. So on tour you really don't get to enjoy, the places that much.
No, not really.
There's always the stress of the tour, in your body.
You do enjoy, but of course that you have it in the back of your head. What you
it's like, I got a show today. Like there's always that stress in your mind,
It depends how you take it.
I've
always enjoyed
for
it.
For me, it is. I cannot help it.
Right. But it's such a limited time that, for instance, if you're in a city that you like, you can't get to see everything about it. Or in a country that you can't get to see everything about it. Like, for instance, I always wanted to go to Serbia, and we have been in the country, but we stayed at the gas station. We were just passing by. So it's like getting out of the bus, like, Serbia, yeah. I'm going to take a pee. I'll be right back. Okay, that's it. So.
But it's a totally night and day feeling for me if I'm like in another country and I know that I don't have shows or anything. I can just relax and take it easy.
That'd be cool. We should plan something.
Not yet. There's work to be done.
Demo, what do you say?
Well, there's a lot of plans, but I kind of prefer to not to kind of speak ahead and then just like surprise people when things happen, rather than
Is this ta-da! Now we have. Can I do the veto thing that it's the roasting session starts now. With a questionnaire that there needs to reveal something what will happen. Thank you.
Okay.
Okay.
So yeah, no big revelations, but I think that is one of my driving goals, to just keep on developing as a musician and getting better and better, and hopefully getting to release more music, getting to tour with the people that I like to work with, and see new places at the same time. So kind of more of what's going on, or what has been going on in the recent years, but yeah, would be nice to do even more of that stuff, and at the same time develop my teaching practice, and getting better as a teacher, and maybe one day release like a own guitar book and do pre-recorded guitar videos and stuff like that. So-
Cool.
Good. Great
That's
plans.
pretty nice. Yeah, that's awesome. In my case, I mean, I would like to see there are certain things that I definitely want to do and change in my life patterns as well. And in 5 to 10 years' time, more stable mentally, physically, financially, definitely. All these three parts are very, very important. Making myself a better human being in every case, to have the sustainability of doing anything basically I touch and make possible. And so far that has been the case, but the mindset needs to keep building up. Like if you have reached first step of going to the second floor, you need to take the second step. You can't say that, oh, well, it's done. Next. So there's always development that needs to be done. There's always something that needs to be, pushed out of you to make yourself better, because there's no point in saying like, oh yeah, I was able to achieve the first step. Now, like, that's it. Or you go to the second floor and you're like, well, I did it. That's it. Well, that some say sky is the limit. I say sky is not the limit, because there is a definition of you're limiting yourself till the sky. I want to go beyond that as well. So that's definitely going to be the case. And in 5 years or 10 years time, beyond these three factors, I think we discussed about a long time back that I would like to have enough wealth that I don't have to think about wealth in that sense anymore. That I don't have to think about, like, holding myself back or thinking about money, like, oh, how do financially, would I stabilize myself to do this or that or this or that? Because that is the factor that keeps you from doing and being able to achieve things that you really want to do sometimes. For instance, most of you could relate to the fact that if you want to
money
book a
allows you to
studio,
do a lot of things.
exactly,
Allows you to do big things with your band or business or whatever.
precisely. If you want to learn something and you have to pay for it and you don't have money to pay for it, you're like, oh shit, I can't do it at the moment. I would have to pay for it. There's so many different ways of paying. Time is money as well. So, it really, really, financial support can make things so much easier. And there are so many different ways as well. I am humbled, lucky enough to have these guys in my life as well, who have supported me throughout as well, brought me to this stage where I am as well by giving the chances and so on. Being the Ibanez artist as well, we have the possibility of getting the gear as well. That's already a huge financial help in that sense as well. Let's say it that way. So there are so many factors that you still have to keep on building, pushing, like, oh, this is not it, that I need to push to make that happen. It's work. It's work. So make things happen. Other thing, 5 to 10 years, more stable in the music industry, because this is not the end, because it has only just begun,
Yeah, for me, I really want to make Wintersun a bigger band, which allows us to do more bigger things, cool stuff, music videos, that's also one big thing I want to do. And like big budget music videos also for the long songs. So
right,
it's one thing I want to do.
Yeah, 200 million for that movie we talked about.
Oh yeah.
Exactly.
That money's gone, right?
Spent already.
Yeah, that's definitely the mansion here. Mine. I just walking around today. Right around.
Bought Bitcoin with it. And now Bitcoin has crashed.
It has?
A little bit, yeah.
Oh.
Like 50%.
Well, no, not really, no, but a little bit, yes, definitely.
I mean, it was like 60K like a few months ago. Now it's like 30.
It used to be $1 at one point as well, so.
Yeah.
I still say that it's still out there, like, yeah. All right, hey, moving on to the next
2011,
question.
I was already planning to get some Bitcoin. I was stupid.
We have done stupid mistakes. Yeah, stupid choices. Yeah. I wish I could have done this or that. That's the other thing that I want to change in really work on the present, being present, because when you lose the present, it becomes the past and it already affects your future. It's a very interesting cycle. I'm working on it since the period of time now. And enough of living in the past, live in the current state and be aware of the things that are supposed to happen in the present and be really aware, like educate yourself, get as much as information you can in order to be up to date with all the things. Rest is your choice, what you want and want not to do, and to completely shut down the option of whichever information is coming to you, like, I don't want it, I don't need it. Well, you might need it, but you don't know it yet. So always take in as much as information as you can and not to dwell in the past. That's the other thing that I don't want to do in the already now.
Well said.
Moving on. Thank you very much for the question, Milla. Fern Forrest, I believe it's the first question of Fern as well. Thank you very much for coming to Patreon. Lovely. He says that if you were a scientist and had to research something, what would you research and why?
Probably something has to do with space. What's out there?
I would do that as well because they would need a new ball for a lot of people by now to live in. A new planet. And
you need new balls.
Maybe find many balls to live in.
No.
For like-minded people.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, maybe in the metaverse there will be different planets to live with like-minded people.
Possible. Demo?
Well, yeah, I'm also very fascinated by the space. So, yeah.
It's the Finnish mentality. Like we go to north to get rid of people.
And
but
now
people are
get the
coming
fuck
here. We want to go to another planet.
Yeah.
It's like, oh shit, no.
We need a new planet.
Yeah, we need a new planet actually. Right. Yeah, being a scientist, I think it's I would really study a lot about the DNA and how I can fucking crack it.
So you want to be immortal?
No, immortality is not the case. We have consciousness that's immortal anyways. I mean, that's never-ending chapter.
But what would you do if you would, control DNA?
To be able to see and, unlock things that we are not capable of unlocking by ourselves yet. And DNA is just a platform. It's like a motherboard of your computer. Not just a motherboard, but just like a PC that you open up and see like what you can change, how you can upgrade, how you can do things, how you can add things, how you can repair things.
I was asking what would you upgrade and
everything, capacity, like, to be able to have a better GPU, to be able to have a better CPU, unlock some parental
came to my mind, but I cannot say.
Okay.
You can write it on the message board.
Yeah. So
one thing,
because I am very interested in space anyways, with the previous podcast, maybe you would have heard, but I think the spirituality wise, I don't know if it is a word, spiritually, let's say it that way. There's two different kinds of ways of, understanding us or understanding the universe or the world. One is the external and one is the internal. I rather have become more and more towards working on the internal than the external, because
so
that's what
mushrooms now.
I like mushrooms, but I don't know which mushrooms particularly you are talking about. I
Something
like portobello.
that you can work with the internal.
But I like portobello. They're nice. Yes. But yes, that's the point. Jukka, you were saying something.
Was I saying something?
Yes.
I don't know, there's different topics going in my head. one thing I would like to maybe research, but then again find a solution to make it better is maybe more closer matter is human behavior. That why do we compete and lie to each other and do not admit things to ourselves and maybe listen to other people and only do the individual me, and use more moral codes than power and money and all kinds of things.
That can
maybe
be
that's
done.
not it anymore, even a research. Maybe that's like my wish
Will to power.
to change.
That can be done with understanding the DNA as well, in order to, being able to kind of change that code into the betterment. But then again, it's a dangerous factor as well,
But it's evolution.
Well, sure, yeah, but
we are here now and are still getting better.
Potentially, hopefully, for the good. And, but definitely that's something that is highly important as well, because we are a very freaking interesting creature, even though knowingly, we
always want more.
Knowingly, I mean, no matter what, we all are sinners of one sort or the other, but depending on the level, obviously. But to be able to, control that, not just control that, but really work on yourself and accept,
some people don't believe in sin. Well, might is right.
So I mean, agreed with Yuka on that factor as well. So there are so many things that could be worked on, and psychology in that sense is something that could be, considered to understand, like, why do we do that? And even though we understand why do we do that, but yet again we keep on doing that. So there's that factor that I would actually even like to go beyond that in order to even change that, to just, let's say, create that firewall against it. That, we understand it, but yet we do that. Why the hell do we still do that? Oh, I understand, I know. And
so fighting over resources, basically.
It's a never-ending fight. Our own fight.
It will end at some point.
Hopefully. Moving on to the next question. Very nice question. Thank you very much for asking. Hannah is asking the first question as well. Thank you very much for coming to the Patreon. Very nice of you. I have changed my original question. Oh, she asked a previous question as well, but she has changed the question because this topic has been stuck in my mind for already a couple of years. Artificial intelligence and robotics in the future. Do you think there is some way that the AI will take over creative work someday, and especially, I mean, over the music? I'm asking myself pretty often, is there any possibility of putting thousands of different insights and metrics into AI networks to... Okay, I'll shorten the question. It's a very lengthy question asked, so we will stick to do you think that there is some way that the AI will take over creative work someday? Can you imagine that there will be a group of robots performing on the stage and people cheering and enjoying their music?
I highly hope that won't happen.
Possibly.
But that definitely is possible if we ourselves feed that thing and want it to, of course, to get better and better. Of course, there are zillions of things that computer can calculate, statistics and all kinds of things that are used in healthcare and wherever nowadays, that it's really, really...
But we wouldn't be here anymore because the AI would destroy us.
Yeah.
We don't know that.
Or
for a guarantee. We don't know that.
Yeah, we don't.
That's a very interesting myth.
I wonder if there can be like two AIs and they would start fighting.
There already is. That is happening. And that was shut down. Both of them. But yeah.
I believe that AI can become like almost self-aware, but I don't know if it's technically possible, because I mean, maybe human mind is already like, because we all, like cats and dogs, they have a programming, like evolutionary programming. They do the cat stuff and they do the dog stuff, and we as human beings, we do the human stuff. It's like different kind of similarities that we all do. So we already have like a program in us. Of course we have some free will that we can change our behavior and do decisions, but still there's a lot of that we are programmed to do. I believe that.
AI, of course, it's
Like
created
millions
by
of years of
humans, and
evolution.
AI probably is we're trying to make it first like ourselves. Or,
Yeah, I don't know what would happen if it would
Damn.
become like self-aware.
but robots, thinking about on stage, other robots would probably enjoy it like hell, but humans enjoying robots
I mean,
on stage.
maybe it depends.
We already have Yngwie Malmsteen, for example.
If we can program some walls into the AI that they cannot do this and that.
Build the walls.
But if we don't do that, then who the hell knows what the AI will do?
Mm.
Damn.
Yeah. After watching the Black Mirror series, that's definitely thought provoking and even quite a bit scary. Like thinking what could happen with all the AI stuff in the future, and I think very much likely possible. But her question was like how it applies to the music thing, and like
Yeah, can you imagine that there will be a group of robots performing on the stage and people cheering and enjoying their music?
yeah, I mean, I don't
think music will become obsolete at some point. It will not interest anyone.
I don't believe that, but of course
I think we will start emerging with machines, become like transhumans, and at some point we become one collective mind, and then we go to the space and just expand.
But thinking about
Just like the Borg in Star Trek.
AI thing in a way to music, even at the moment that we're some people or whoever are trying to find certain frequencies that subwoofing and higher and wherever that pleases the human mind in a certain way and certain beats, and songs are made just to, not really from the emotion, but actually through those frequencies and this and that, just to please the mind.
But maybe it could go like this because we only have 12 notes. So at some point we will become so intelligent that
Actually, the 12 notes that the Western music
Yeah,
thinks
the
of.
Westerns are idiots with the 12 notes because there are way more than that.
Let me get my thought through. So we become so intelligent that we become so bored with those notes. So we start using all the frequencies, like 0.001 frequencies, and start doing like crazy music that would sound like chaotic mess to our ears. But at some point, we will be so intelligent that we would understand that music.
Precisely.
Yeah.
Now, if I may continue on the factor, Yari actually mentioned a very, very interesting point that's already like it's a bit away from this, but it's with the current society or the current world that we're living in and so on. As human beings, we are so determinedly selfish and so centered on ourselves that we created the word artificial intelligence. Do we not think that we are artificial intelligence by ourselves as well? Yes, we are. We each and every individual of us programs different things in our different mind, different DNAs, different programmings, and so on. And then what Yari said about like
and
collectively,
we are being programmed also.
Exactly, which we eventually do not see as, so to speak, the same way we have a computer and all of a sudden we have a virus without knowing it. We don't know. There's so many things that are being collectively taken out of our computer,
virus,
putting into our computer. There's not much of a difference in between understanding or referring to the computer and us. We are just a something which is biological,
I would say mind viruses
intellectual.
are way more dangerous than any
Sure. So
virus that we got going on right now.
The other thing which Yari mentioned about is that eventually we would become one source of thought, and joked about going to the space, for instance. Clearly, strongly read all the scriptures of any religion, so to speak, we have, or any mythical formations that we have, all the scriptures have oneness at the end of the day. That there would be a time that will come, we will all become one, we will all have the same
Borg.
thoughts, we will be positive and so on. Well, eventually we have come, not, I don't know how far we have come or how far there's to go, but we are cyborgs in a way as well. We can't live without the virtual world anymore. We need anything, access to anything to communicate with others. We have virtual form of doing that. We have social media. We have emails. We have all the link. We can't live without our phones anymore as well either, you know? So we are, the majority of the society has started to become kind of like a one source in a way. But eventually our data processing speed is different. Everybody has a different speed because we live in a different place. So some place 5G works, some place 4G works, some place there's 3G even doesn't work. Some place there is no internet either. So different datas, different processes, different things. Coming to the point of that you said, do you see that the AI will take over creative work someday? Of course it has already taken over work someday. We create MIDI music, electronic music since a long period of time. And those are the sounds created by digital format as well. So that is the artificial intelligence that we have built already and has taken over creative work. Like, for instance,
But it's still like
Yari is even using
programmed
VST. Exactly, of course, but that's what I
it's
mean.
not self-aware AI.
Of course not, but that was not the question. AI doesn't have to mean that it's self-aware.
Yeah.
Artificial intelligence in that
There's
sense.
like 10-hour gent on YouTube. That is funny.
Exactly. So
That is
considering
computer
that,
created.
Have you watched it entirely?
Just a few
10
minutes.
hours, yeah.
But it's actually very good stuff.
But
Pretty
there
good
it is.
riffs.
From two, as Hannah writes as well, which is a fact actually, 2022 even organized an international competition exploring AI in the songwriting technique called the AI Song Contest. Google came up with a project in 2016 called Magneta, which aspires to advance machine intelligence into something that can generate meaningful music and art. So the algorithm was created, so to speak. But this is a project that was released in public. This has already been done. I mean, the algorithms for making the AI music has already been done for some time. Actually, there are already quite many programs out there which are creating their own music and sitting and doing their thing and so on, right? By studying how the human reaction to them is, what is pleasing, what is not pleasing, and so on. All these, minor datas that the algorithm collects and, gives out.
So musicians won't be called musicians anymore. They will be called programmers.
Correct. Which we kind of are.
Who creates the best algorithm to make music?
Who can create the best drum beat on, Superior Drummer.
Then
But
we have
anyways,
just the Eurovision will be just AI music.
could be. So,
Isn't it already almost?
Almost.
I think there's a huge potential there just for like how people experience music differently in the future as well. So like one option, of course, like Jari mentioned, it could be that music gets less and less important. It's kind of gets forgotten because of all the other more important things. But I also see the other side of like, because of this technology, people can actually like discover the choice of music even more, the power of music. Kind of like, it's for us, it's kind of a religion in a way, music, but for a lot of people, it's not that big thing. But I think in the future, if there's tools how to, for example, how to easily play some instrument, how to, something you hear in your head, how to, how to express that and maybe do it in collaboration with other people. I think this could be something that would maybe be more of like a meditative thing that people start doing more, actually playing instruments or somehow doing creative things with music instead of just putting the, AirPods on and like having a background music going on.
But yeah, then we can consider that is becoming as a game so that the people enjoy like for 15, 20 minutes, an app on the computer, app on the PC or our, daily drivers, whatever, phone or iPad or so
Yeah,
on.
for
So it
example.
would become a game. But like
yeah, but still
consider
music.
Yeah, but let's say evolution of music became like we don't consider the classical music as effective, or as classical music have started to become obsolete. It has evolved. We don't have that classical music anymore as it used to be in the 16th century, for instance. So the evolution has taken forward, and now we have electronic music that has taken much more effect, or is as popular, or let's say as artistic as the classical music used to be. So maybe in 10, 15 years, 20 years, music would become, which we have right now, might become obsolete in that sense and become the evolutionized music into something else. We don't know. Could be.
Maybe, but yeah.
Could be. But definitely having that, option of pressing buttons and being able to create a sound is definitely very exciting. Thank you very much for
maybe
answering.
there will be like websites you can like send different thing, and that website will create your song to you.
Actually, there had been one. It was already very back in when the internet came out. You give it some notes and it just, randomly picks a melody and makes a melody for you.
But way more like,
Of course.
get the full production.
Yeah. Quickly wrapping this question. So the musicians, scientists, and developers are trying to go forward, but do you think the AI shouldn't touch some parts of our lives at all? That's inevitable. It has already touched, and it will be touched.
I mean, depends. Can we upload our minds to the computer and live there? Do we need these physical bodies anymore?
Well, we kind of partially are living there. We are kind of not really dead. I mean, our data is always there. We are on Facebook. We have our things on Facebook. Like, so we are kind of,
and we are going deeper and deeper every day.
Exactly, right? So in a way, halfway through, we have let our consciousness out there on the in the virtual world in that sense.
Yeah, but can we at some point finally leave this physical realm?
Well, spiritually, claims are there that we do. Spiritually, people have done it. That's a big pseudoscience topic, which we should not get into. Yes. Going to the next question. Natania is back on Patreon as well. Welcome back. And she is asking us a question, which is very, very exciting. I don't know. They have gotten us to a scientific mode today. So if you had a HUD that shows 3 stats about any person you looked at, which 3 stats would you want it to show? Also, do you like ducks? Okay.
What's an HUD?
If, for instance, when you play a game, if you look at a character, it shows like, oh, the health is this much. These are the traits of this character, or this is what you are able to buy from this character, or it's a seller, or it's a merchant, or whatever. So basically, which is able to show you different stats or different things about
stats. So was there any specific, like what stats, or just every
would you like to see? 3. What 3 stats would you want it to show? So if you look at me, which ones
from one
would you
person
like
or 3 persons?
Any person.
Okay, just one person.
Yeah, so basically anybody that you look
everybody we look at you will have the same stats and showing something depending on who are you looking at.
Which 3 stats would you like to see?
So you don't have to name the person.
Any person
in the world.
Or in Mars as well.
If you look at me, if you look at us, and if you look at Teemu, you will get different stats, 3 of them, whatever you want to know, just by looking at us.
Any person.
Stats.
I know 2. Third one.
Stats.
Damn. That silence is
What
deadly.
can those stats be? Like, for example?
Anything.
For example, you can see that what is my health status, what instrument does he play, and for example, 3rd is what foods does he like. Then you will see those.
his YouTube channel view count or
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. Fair enough. If you think that way, yeah, sure. Why not?
I don't know.
But I can give one, for instance. I would definitely like to see
Because I'm more
the
interested in the knowledge of the person.
intelligence level. But then again,
No, the knowledge. Like for
Sure.
example, Devin Townsend would be one example. I would be interested to pick his brain. But it's a different thing than stats.
yeah. So okay. Well, that's still kind of
Okay, I have three.
Jukka.
Not to see up to other people's brains. I'm not thinking that might be cool to see, to learn new things, definitely, but not in the sense that it's just I want to gain out of others. But the thing is that number one is this person, if I have a conversation, I see him or her, is he lying or not? Number two, is
that a stat?
Does he try to gain out of something from me? And number three is that
But those are not stats.
Man, the stats
and
is just
if I understand it incorrectly, then please.
no.
Stats only numbers and stuff. I understood it in this way.
We are not talking about. They're not considered stats. Jukka is correct. It can be anything. This is just a
or
terminology.
like in a game, the character can have like weaknesses and strengths.
Yes, exactly like that.
Okay.
Yeah. So Jukka is correct. Is he lying or not? So it comes like yes, no, on the top of the head flying.
That would be just a yes, no. Then maybe what was the second that I said? Is this person just trying to gain something out of me? And the third one would be.
Is it gain or wants to learn from you?
Yeah.
If he learns from you, he gains something from you.
That is true. That is a big difference. Yeah. So maybe it should show a positive or a negative effect. Third one, I just had it in my head, but now I forgot it. You guys continue. Maybe I'll come to the third one in a while if I remember it again. Oh yeah, and then I can answer number one, lying or not. Number two, gaining or trying to learn something. Number three, I don't know. And the answer to the second question is yes. That I like ducks. And I'm still thinking for the third one.
Yeah. Damn.
Yeah, it's a pretty difficult question. I mean, I'm not sure if I wanted to see all kinds of stats and like, would they also see like everybody else's stats, or would it be just like I see everybody's stats and nobody else does have the same head-up display view? I think like seeing information of all the people could be like negative in
Mark
some ways as
Zuckerberg has all the stats.
Yeah, that's true. But something that could be something that could be practical. That just like
he already has all the stats. What stats can we come up with? He has everything.
One could be is that person on Facebook? Has that person ever been on Facebook? Yes, no. If no, okay, let's go. Something new to learn about that person. Okay.
Yeah, maybe like is a person on a positive or a negative mood, and then.
Oh, I came up with the third one. Is that? No, I lost it. my mind is a roller coaster at the moment.
You
Something
need
that could
some
be
AI in your mind.
Something that would be really practical in some situations, but maybe a bit counterproductive as well, would be seeing person's name. So then you would have to worry about like remembering
and gender, very important.
Have I seen this person before? Number one, yes, you have. Two, what is his name? Three, which gender is this person? Thank you.
Hey, this is the HUD we could put like on tours, so we don't get
there's hundreds of
hi, nice to meet you.
Well, there's hundreds of genders these days. So who the hell knows?
Oh, Hundreds of tenders.
Didn't you know? That's
Yeah,
what they've been
that would be
telling
the
me.
least thing that I would like to, waste my HUD stat on. Like, that's the least of the thing that I would like to know at the end. Maybe. Okay. I don't. It's
For me,
really
it
a
would be
hard question.
gender, age, and is this person trustworthy?
Okay.
And I like ducks.
Cool. Yari and Yuka's third one.
My third one would have been something, now that I'm trying to get it out from myself, is that to understand kind of like a new person in a correct way, that do I misread him or her by the emotional thing or something, that I don't kind of like having a conversation that I would understand everything correctly and not misunderstand things.
Mm-hmm.
That I would learn something or the other person as well. Those three things. Thank you, and ducks.
This would be something that would be interesting to like have a percentage of how much of your talk somebody else is understanding. So if you're getting 0, they're thinking about something totally else. And,
Yeah,
you
you're
know,
just
if
wasting your time talking to a wall. Like, yeah, blah, 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 blah.
In the beginning, I had a thought for the third that am I just wasting my time on another person.
Well, when we will
That was
connect to the Borg, then we can read all our, minds, each other's minds.
Will this happen
It will
in
be
your
fine.
Yari? Will this happen in your country, in the
Planet.
metaverse, or in the planet? What? Yari's planet is like this and has a wall around it.
Yeah.
And then because all our minds are there in the Borg, we don't need minds anymore, just one collective mind.
Who controls everyone else, or just
Then we will
collective?
Conquer space and discover the secrets of the universe.
But think about it, this HUD thing is basically the same as like representation as was in Black Mirror, or so to speak, that's been done in China as well, the rating system, that how the person is rated.
Social credit.
Yeah, exactly. So
yeah, I would want to know the social credit score of the person.
Yeah.
How many stars this person have?
It's definitely a difficult one for me. It's because there's no measurement of it, like the actual measurement. I would have loved to see the level of intelligence, but that you can't define. You can't measure somebody's intelligence. We have a system called, let's say, what's your IQ?
That's unbelievable. People can be stupid and smart in so
many different ways.
Exactly. So
exactly.
It's like funny that somebody has a position or something and being considered intellectual, being equal as this person is in a very high level. Fuck that.
Yeah.
Maybe not on that precise thing, maybe, but not on the millions of other things, perhaps not.
Correct. So yeah, that's definitely difficult. But
well, there you go, Asim. You can have that in yours, that it will show all the aspects that this person is good at this and that.
Yeah. But then I would need like 15 to 20 minutes before reading the chart of that person. Like, wait a minute. Like, well, let's see. What do you got here? Okay. I mean, I would love to see the stat. One stat would be, or one, stat would be things in common. Things in common.
Is there a stat for growth? Because some people, they can become something. They can learn something. Even if they aren't skilled yet in something, they can become skilled. Is there a stat like
others, but yourself as well at the same time?
Sorry, what?
Not just others, but yourself at the same time as well.
But we were talking about other people.
Yeah, but then it's difficult as well, because then we are determining something that we don't have a concrete measurement tool for. We don't know if that person can grow. Of course, we can learn an instrument. If we say if that person is able to grow into learning an instrument, yes, but how much? I mean, can he become like Yngwie Malmsteen? So that would be Maybe that should be the thing. Can he become Ingvar Malmsteen?
It would be, yeah, it would be kind of sad in a way then to know everything in forehand or too many things. But on the other hand, you would not like to waste your time on things.
Yeah. Well, right. Yeah. Well, cool.
Or
So in a way, for me, it would be things in common. Like, let's say, for 3 things in common would pop up. Pop, pop, pop. Second one would be,
And things not in common.
wouldn't that be obvious? Why would I use my second stat on not knowing like what are not things in common?
But is
Obviously,
it-
the things which are not in common, I should have my brains to know that they're not in common.
Yeah, but commons and uncommons, that would be the same stat.
how many brains do you have, Asen? Do you say brains?
No, when did I say brains?
No. My brains hurt that you said brains.
No, when did I? No, when, did I say brains? Am I? No.
Sorry.
No, I don't know. It's really hard for me. The second one could be.
Yes.
No, I can't say it. Okay. Is that person an idiot? Yes or no? No.
Yeah, I'm. In what
Because I mean,
in what level or
hey,
for you?
yeah,
or for
exactly.
you,
But
yeah.
it's your personal HUD. So you have already determined in your system what idiot is, right? So according to your perception, your HUD can show like idiot, yes or no. Right? So my system would say idiot. Maybe for other people it would say no. But for my system it would go idiot.
My system just says continuous no, because you're the only idiot.
Yeah, but when you
Looking in the mirror. Wait a minute. Go to the mirror. Idiot. Yes. What the fuck?
But then when you walk in the city, you have like the Terminator screen,
Yeah.
and everyone's an idiot because you think you're better than everyone.
Yes.
Little chap. You would walk around the city, idiot, 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 idiot.
Maybe the third option should be that this HUD can be turned off whenever wanted.
No, but that comes in your system settings. That's not a stat. Yeah, that comes in the system settings. Point to be noted. Point to be noted.
This question was confusing.
Very. Third one, simple. Third one could be
Fun
artistic.
question.
Yes, no. Like that could be the first. First is common things. Second,
Idiot.
idiot.
Meter.
Yes, no.
Idiot meter.
Idiot meter. Yeah. Third could be. What did I say? Artistic. Yes, no.
Artistic,
Let's
yes,
move.
no. Is that something? If somebody says artistic, yes, you get excited, and then this person, I like
Idiot-
to paint
idiot artist.
the insides of people's noses. Let me pencil you. So, fuck this.
No, that is considered an idiot already. Idiot, yes.
sorry.
Artistic, yes. Out.
So you would know all the idiot artists
Well, that could be-
Idiot artist.
like us.
oh
Yeah.
man, there are plenty of there are plenty of to go through that list. All right, let's move on to the next question.
20th anniversary by monthly making us looking like idiots here. For everyone already.
Yeah, this podcast is making us look like idiots.
Yeah.
Yep.
that was the one of the absolute truths that ever heard from them. Yep.
Yeah. The conviction, man.
That was
The
truthful
conviction
person.
in that. Oh,
Yeah.
man. Yeah.
I wonder what Teemu's HUD is saying at the moment.
Yeah.
Or showing.
Okay, quick next question. From Santeri M, what do you guys think? Could you do a 1 hour challenge? What? Oh, sorry. Again. What do you guys think? Could you do song in 1 hour challenge? like some of the YouTubers have done, I think that would be something. Jukka Teemu Jari.
Make a song in 1 hour
1 hour song challenge.
together.
Yeah. I think, could you guys do, maybe he means like all of us together? Or does he mean individually? Well, let's answer both.
I guess could, but I guess this sort of thing should be a total complete surprise on camera and everything for someone, because now that I know that I would need to do it, I will start preparing it already. And then, do you understand my point? That
Yeah,
it
would have
has
to
to
be,
happen, be a surprise, because then
will-
it's a fake thing.
yeah,
like
we would
probably
need to be together in a room, then someone, okay,
yeah.
here's the challenge, let's do it now.
Time starts now. What? Howard, make a song. Okay, let's
Yeah,
play.
we would be needed to invite us to some show or something, and then they challenge us.
Yeah. I mean, they give us the topic, or they give us like a key to work with or something, or a melody to work with, and create
We have
something
to
around that.
come up.
No, but like there has to be some boundaries.
I haven't seen any 1 hour YouTube challenges, but I have a feeling that these are quite pre-thought things. Or are they? I don't know. Have you guys seen any? I don't know.
I mean, I've seen people like in electronic world that they make these kind of, they produce a song out of a melody or a sample, for instance. That's what I've seen, but I haven't.
But you can definitely create something, if you're forced to. And as a musician, you need to have that skill. It could be shit, or it could be good. I don't know. Probably shit.
I mean, there are quite many songs that I've made under 1 hour. Sure. But if you meant like us making it together, that would be interesting. Sure. Could be.
Yeah.
Can be done.
Yeah, I think so. It would be fun to try, and we definitely would come up with something, but I don't think it would necessarily sound like very much Wintersun, which is very kind of like a longer thought process and yeah, very kind of meticulously like
No, I'm curious how
composed
would
together.
it sound?
We'll probably have to split it in parts. 1 hour time, one guy does this riff, then the other one thinks of a chorus, the other guy thinks of this and that.
Yeah, but then we together negotiate. Is this verse good, or
is this
and
verse
so on.
worse?
Yeah, I think this would be fun. This is something we have never done really together.
Is this
Discuss is this good and that? Hey, no, we talk. Hey, we have 1 minute left. Okay,
is this a chorus or a chorus?
Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, that was
time pressure.
Time pressure. Yeah. We did the 2 hour podcast challenge. All right.
But it's also, if we decide, okay, now we want to create the best song in the world, or we just do something.
It is the best song in the world.
If you take that like, okay, we need to create the best song in the world, then like there's so much pressure that probably nothing will come out.
But there will never be a best song in the world.
No, but have that kind of mentality. Let's create a great song.
I think these are two different things. I don't think you think that let me create the best song in the world and have a 1 hour time limit for that. I think it's
that's what I mean. But like when you're creating, it's the mindset. Like if you put too much like, okay, now I need to create something great, then it can be like a boundary for you. Because I feel like there needs to be no boundaries. You create like freely, then there will become bad stuff and good stuff, and then you pick the good stuff. But if you're too critical when you create, then it's much harder to create. Get my point?
Yeah, for sure. But when you have 1 hour time limit, then you kind of have to not be very critical. You just have to go.
Yeah, it depends what do we want to do in that 1 hour.
Yeah.
If we just decide, okay, let's create shit. Well, that will be easy.
What is shit?
Maybe it's good for someone. Who knows?
All right. Wrapping up here. time has come.
4.
One final question I would ask is from a YouTube comment. That is a very interesting question to Jari. And the question is about how did you write Death and the Healing? And it's by Wolfo. At the age of 17. His exact word was like, how?
Yeah, it was like 95 or 96 when I wrote that.
Yeah.
It was...
When he was goddamn 17. Those were his exact words.
You know what? Definitely the song is influenced by Black Winter Day from Amorphis. I was influenced with lots of bands those days. So I don't know. I just was playing, you know, those arpeggios, and I was kind of, you know, like playing that, like that arpeggio shape, and kind of like having fun with it. And then the melody just came and kind of put chords on top of the melody, and I was like, hell yeah, that works. And then the next riff, that kind of came naturally after. So those were the kind of the main first two riffs that came pretty easily. But then the rest of the stuff, I just went all creative and like added different parts, and it kind of, some reason there was a lot of solos, and I don't know. And it was pretty obvious that the main melody was going to be the chorus. Just to, you know, write lyrics on top, and that was that.
All right. Cool. Perfect. Thank you for answering. Thank you, everybody. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for asking us the questions. You are far too kind enough to support us throughout the Patreon. And definitely share the word around. Support us as much as you can, as much as you want to. We thank you all for that. And this marks down the 20th anniversary podcast. No, the 20th anniversary of the podcasts. Exactly. And all the questions that's been asked, you are far too kind. I'm sorry to apologize. No, I want to apologize for the questions that have not ended up on this podcast, because they have been asked. More than one person has asked 2 questions. So for the next time, please.
Very interesting questions this time.
Oh yeah.
And we gave very
as well.
Very idiot answers.
It's right here saying like idiot meter. Yes. And yes, thank you. Take care.
Thank you so much, guys.
You guys are phenomenal, fantastic, and hope to see you guys sometime soon. And see you on the Wintersun Patreon forum.
All right.
Cheerio.
Coolio.
Cheers.
Ta-ta.
Ciao, Bob.